Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Real Talk Sports. It's been a while. Probably about 2 or 3 weeks. It's been a long time. My name is Ethan Richmond, alongside my amazing co-host, Caden Glaze. Caden, it's been a while, obviously. It's been a couple weeks. We've had stuff going on, school, and just a whole bunch of other things going on. Travel, just a whole bunch of other things. But, I mean, overall, how you been?
I've been good.
Been good, yeah. Been good, yeah. Been good as well. I know we finished up spring football for Liberty here, video staff. Spring game ended well, it was...
We won.
Go Flames, man. Liberty won. But yeah, that's over with now. We got exams coming up in about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, almost there.
Almost there. But yeah, obviously just life going on, obviously. But in sports, how you been in sports, Caden?
I've been all right. I mean, it's that time of the year where, football's over, so my favorite sport is not on. So then it's, on to watching basketball, I guess.
Yep. Baseball.
Yeah, I guess. I'm not the biggest baseball fan in the world. Even though they shortened it by 2.5 hours, if they get it down to 1.5, I might watch.
1.5?
Just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just kidding because I know that would ruin baseball. But so it's been good for sports, keeping up. NFL off seasons, it's about to get crazy here, which is exciting.
Oh yeah, draft is in a week from today, actually. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, there's been a couple MLB games this year as well. That's been under 2 hours.
Yeah,
as well.
I have seen that.
Games, so that's pretty cool right there. I would say for me in sports, it's been pretty good. Obviously my Braves are doing phenomenal. You love to see it. I mean, I'm not the biggest, NHL guy. I'm really not at all. But if I had to choose a team, to be the Hurricanes, and
they're doing pretty good.
Apparently, they're doing good. So I'll take it. But I mean, glad to hear it's been pretty decent for you. I guess I know your Cardinals aren't doing the best right now, but as you said before, they'll rebound.
Yeah. They will some way. One way or the other. They'll figure it out, I guess.
Well, I hope they do, because obviously I picked them to win the division.
Yeah, so did I.
But a little recap, I guess, of the week. We would do 2 weeks, but that would be way too much information. A little recap of the week. Obviously, NBA playoffs started. The play-in happened in the Eastern Conference. The Hawks and the Heat moved on in the East, and in the West, it was, I may be wrong on this, the Timberwolves and the Lakers. Right, Timberwolves and Lakers were both moved on from the play-in. Obviously, NBA playoffs have been doing pretty good. I mean, at least I think it's been pretty entertaining so far. I'd say the West more so than the East.
Yeah, the East is just kind of, the only big thing, I guess, was, two.
Yeah.
Was the Knicks upset the Cavs.
Yeah.
And then the Heat
beating
the Bucks. Other than that, the East has just been kind of
because, you got the 76ers and the Nets. Nets shouldn't be there in the first place, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then the Hawks are getting destroyed by the Celtics. So,
unlike what you predicted.
I told him that watch out for the Hawks, and obviously the Hawks are watching out to look at Cancun, because that's probably where they're going to be in the next week.
Yeah.
But other than that, obviously NFL free agency. We're going to get into that. We have really one big signing, some other small moves. I don't know if you keep up with it. College baseball has been crazy this past week.
I don't. I know Mizzou, I think, won in the series against A&M. But
so we won't go over it, but real quick, Tennessee Tech beat Tennessee in a midweek game, and this is two years in a row that Tennessee Tech has beaten Tennessee.
In a midweek?
2 years in a row, in a midweek game, just one game. Huh. But great for that program. I know LSU lost. I forgot who they lost to. I think it was Indiana State. I believe it's who they lost to. It's been crazy.
Yeah.
Liberty almost beat Wake Forest yesterday, almost. Yeah, we know. It's still good, though. But
I know the SEC is kind of doing like what we said. They're just kind of beating each other up. And exactly. I think Mizzou hasn't lost in the midweek. I will say
They've not lost in the midweek. Yeah, so pretty good right there. I know Tennessee got swept by LSU, or was it LSU.
Both Tiger teams,
Tigers, yeah, it was rough. And I think we got swept by Arkansas as well. But
you're just right down the line there. in the
What?
SEC.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're
'Cause-
yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying because Missouri's on top of Arkansas. Arkansas is on
Yeah.
top of Louisiana. So there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you go west of the Mississippi. It's struggle for you.
It's
guys.
rough. It's very rough for us right now. And also real quick, shout out to Liberty softball for beating number 13 Alabama on Monday. That was a huge win for Liberty because we both know they start off the season really bad. I mean, well, to be fair,
They didn't start off. They started off with a rough record.
schedule. Well,
Yes.
also, I mean, they lost their first ASUN series in 2 years. A couple weeks ago as well.
Oh, did they? I didn't see that.
It was the first time in 2 years that happened, so they kind of rebounded, which is nice. But yeah, I mean, obviously MLB, we'll get into that, obviously, but XFL, that's a thing, I guess. But, ladies and gentlemen, it's segment 1. For those that don't know, we do winners and losers of the week. We each choose 3 winners and 3 losers of the week. We're gonna get into it. I think some of mine, or at least one of mine, was from like a week and a half ago. Wow. But
that's not acceptable.
But I'll start off first. You know, my number 1 winner is Brady Ware. He plays baseball at the University of Indianapolis. He is the first college player, or probably first player ever in college baseball to throw a no-hitter and hit for the cycle in the same game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Throwing it to the GLVC conference.
Yeah.
Shocked I knew that, but I do know a team that Indianapolis plays. Shout out
really?
SBU.
Oh, wow.
That's where my brother played football.
Oh, nice.
So he played Indianapolis a couple times.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Just a little tidbit there.
Yeah, tidbit, yeah.
I'll throw in there, but yeah. That it is. I did see that, and I thought it's crazy because it's D2. The competition there, especially for baseball, is still super high.
And that's one thing for college baseball is, regardless of what level you're at, it's insane. It's insane competition. Like there's some. I mean, look at the mid majors in college baseball in D1. Like, I mean, you got Coastal, Campbell, Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah, there's
like, I mean, they're some of the best teams in the nation. So
yeah,
I mean,
baseball's almost kind of like basketball in a sense that just because you're the smaller school, doesn't necessarily mean that you're, any worse. And football on a lesser extent, it's just a little harder when you got 6'8" guys going against 6'2". But I mean,
But yeah, what's your number 1 winner, Caden?
Light the Beam. Give me the Kings going 2-0, and I mean that just Sacramento itself, they're all the fans, they're feeling it. They're finally in the playoffs again. They're finally winning in the playoffs. So I think they're probably the number 1 winner.
That is actually my number 2 winner. Actually,
really? Okay,
yeah, that's my number 2 winner, and it's weird because obviously in my whole lifetime, the Kings obviously have never won a playoff game. So it's nice seeing that. My boy Kevin Herter, he's balling out for Atlanta.
He's making up for your all-star, your 3-point contest pick of him.
Hey, what matters is, they win. If they win the finals, I get to say that the Red Velvet could be a champion. Just saying.
Yeah, okay. I want to go that far. Winning the finals, but
hey, anything can happen. All right.
True.
Anything can happen. True. But I mean, obviously, real quick, the Warriors are the worst team on the road. And it's probably like all time, I believe. It's like they're one of the worst. This year's Warriors teams.
It's one of the worst.
Yeah, I think they've only won.
I mean, playing in like that and playing in those fans too is not helpful.
I believe it was. Sorry, real quick. In the middle of the season, there was a game. I think it was when Herter hit like a game winner, or they took the lead or something. I think it was a game winner, and it was like one of the loudest recorded NBA games in the past 20 years, I think. Or something like that. Or regular season games or something like that. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, they're feeling it right now. And as they should be.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
What's your number 2 winner?
Liberty softball. Beating number 13 Alabama. Gotta give it to them. That's a big win.
That's a huge win. Especially Alabama too. Recently Alabama softball has been very good.
Anytime you get to beat a SEC school. I mean, we've now beat a SEC school in
football. Basketball.
Did we beat a basketball?
Missouri.
Not this year. That was last year.
I thought you were talking about overall. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, overall, I get.
Yeah. Or past 2-3 years or something.
Yeah. So, I mean, have we beat
baseball? I don't think so.
No, I don't think we've really even played.
I don't think we've played one,
But we've been beating, SEC schools, so, I mean.
And some that are, Alabama was ranked. Arkansas was very good the year before.
Yeah.
Mizzou's good at basketball now. Like,
Oh, okay. I can't. I don't know if it works quite like that. That
I mean,
Mizzou team was probably one of
yeah,
the
it was
worst
pretty bad.
basketball
Yeah,
teams
they were
the
very bad.
SEC's ever fielded. Honestly.
Yeah, they were pretty bad. But anyways, my last winner is the cities that could possibly get a MLB expansion team. It's really just the possibility at this point. My big thing, I really want Charlotte to, obviously from North Carolina. I think Charlotte gets an MLB because I mean North Carolina is a huge baseball state.
Well, it just makes sense geographically. There's no teams really close. I mean, because for North Carolina, you south would be all the way to Atlanta, which I know it's not crazy far. Like,
but it's still.
But
I mean,
it's still
if I want to go watch an MLB game, I have to go to Atlanta.
Yeah, it's pretty much. Or you go
to DC.
Yeah, DC would be before Baltimore. So so that's a huge range, and then west it. What like? I mean,
because there's no team in Tennessee.
Yeah, so you'd have to go either St. Louis or like Cincinnati's northwest, but like I mean, so that's a huge so that's a huge range to try to, or that needs probably a team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, there's other, and we'll get into the other cities as well later, but I think. Just the fact that there's a possibility, there's expansion teams. That's pretty cool. What's your last winner?
St. Louis City. Oh. They're the top team in the MLS right now, so I just had to give them a shout out. And I think you would know the player. I don't remember his name off my head. Like you would know him if I could remember the name. But there are talks. He plays at Liverpool. There's talks that they're gonna pursue him this summer or something like that to try to.
Do you know if he's a defender or if he's an attacker or midfielder or?
I do not know, but I can look it up real quick. Who it was?
Is it Robert Firmino? Is that him?
Yeah, him.
He's a good attacker.
He's not bad, but I mean it'd be big to go over and
and that's what
get someone from Liverpool.
Yeah. And I mean that's what we're seeing obviously a lot nowadays is those European guys coming over to MLS. I mean, David Beckham did that obviously. Then you had Ibrahimovic, and now Gareth Bale. So it's pretty cool, I would say, and especially for St. Louis because it's their first year, right?
Yes, first year.
So, and I think if they win the MLS, them and Atlanta United would be the only teams to win the MLS in their first year.
It would be cool. I mean, I would definitely be going to the. Well, when is the championship?
It is in. It's in the mid. I think it's like. I don't remember actually.
Okay, because I was gonna say I would go to the parade, but if it's not in the summer, I will not be able to.
It's like late summer, I think, or like in August maybe. I can't remember.
So I probably will be here.
Yeah, probably.
What a shame. That'd be cool to go to.
All right, we're gonna go through these losers. I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3 for mine real quick.
Yep.
My first one is Draymond Green.
Okay.
I think what he did was absolutely ridiculous. And it's Draymond in full effect.
Yeah, the people defending him. Yeah, there's no
crazy.
Yeah, like. Not just him stomping on him, but afterwards, like you should have known you were going to get suspended at that point.
Exactly, yeah. My number 2 is the city of Oakland. Just because they're going to lose their baseball team, obviously, and just I don't know. But apparently, I saw a thing where they are going to do a reverse boycott, where they're going to try and get as many fans to the game to a game as possible. That won't do anything.
I was about to say their foot's out the door.
Yeah. And then my last loser is the USFL. Just because I forgot they started.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So yeah.
I have similar ones. Number 1 is owner of the A's in the front office. Yeah. I just think the way they handle things is awful. Yep. I mean, like they're there, but they're almost like forcing their way out. Almost Kroenke like, not as bad because we were still trying. Where I think Oakland gave up on them. Yeah. But so front office owner of the A's.
Yeah.
Then USFL. I mean their ratings for their first week was similar to XFL in week 9.
Oh gosh.
So first week is typically your most watched weeks for these spring ones, and it was down like over 50% from last year. And then my last one is the Lamar contract situation. Yeah. And I know we'll get into it, but Jalen Hurts' contract almost makes Lamar dumb for not accepting some of the offers that he got.
Yeah, exactly.
But so that's
Well, obviously, we'll get to that later. Obviously, that whole scenario. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we're gonna get into the MLB. We have a lot of MLB to cover. We're gonna get into it when we come back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Real Talk Sports. My name is Ethan Richmond, alongside my co-host, Caden Glaze. And Caden, MLB, it's about 2-3 weeks underway, obviously. And it's been very interesting, I would say. We've got teams that pretty much did make history to start off the season. We got players on hitting streaks.
Yeah.
We've got suspensions already. We've got a whole bunch of stuff. We have players coming back from suspensions. Let's get right into it. And first, we're gonna look at the standings real quick. I believe as of right now, best record obviously is the Rays. For those that MLB fans that are living under a rock, maybe the Rays started. I believe I may be wrong. It was 13-0, right? Or 14.
I think it was 13.
13-0, and then they lost to the Blue Jays. It is the best start to a season since, I believe, the 80s. I believe 1985, maybe, or it was 85 and 2011.
I think it tied some.
It tied two teams, I believe.
Yeah, it tied somebody, and then the only one that's more is like I saw it on whatever. It was like 18, like 20.
Yeah.
So it may not have been that far back, but they went 20.
Yeah, exactly.
But other than that, like, since 1900s.
Yeah, it's been a while since the team started off that well, and some would say that it was because of their schedule. They got an easy schedule, which I may agree with that, but other than that, looking at the standings in the AL, obviously the Rays, they are first in the whole NL. They are obviously first in their division, 16-3. Then the Yankees and Orioles are technically tied, but the Yankees are above them because they have a better run differential. They're both 11-7. The Blue Jays are 11-8, and then the Red Sox 9-10.
It's a pretty good division.
Pretty good division. I mean, most would say the best in the whole MLB. Then the AL Central is easily the complete opposite. The Twins, the Twins lead that at 11-7. The Guardians then go 10-9, and then the Detroit Tigers 7-10, White Sox 7-12, and then the Royals 4-15.
Wow.
Second worst record in the NL.
It's a rough year for Missouri teams in baseball. Some years, they both make, one year they both made the World Series, and then I guess others are like this year where they're both just awful.
And one team I'm kind of looking at is the White Sox. That really disappointed me.
You were high on the White Sox.
I was. Well, okay, I was high on the White Sox to get like a wild card spot, just because they have young talent. They have Tim Anderson, Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez. Like, their pitching's not bad.
It's still early.
It's still very early, but this era of White Sox 2 years ago to now is probably one of the most disappointing teams I've seen in a while.
Yeah,
just because of the young talent they have, really. Then finally the AL West, the Rangers lead that division at 12-6. Then the Angels at 9-9. The Astros, defending world champions, 9-10. The Mariners 8-11, and then the Oakland Athletics, the worst record in the MLB, at 3-16.
Yeah, they don't even try at this point.
So if you are a team that's leading in your division, you're about to play the Athletics. You're about to get an even bigger lead in your division, pretty much.
That is true.
And then go to the National League, the NL East, the Atlanta Braves, 14-5. They went on an 8-game win streak before they eventually lost in Game 3 of their series against the Padres the other day. Then the Mets at 12-7. They're right behind the Braves. Marlins 10-9, third in their division. Pretty good right there. Then the Phillies 8-11, and then the Washington Nationals are at 5-13. I feel like at least that order is pretty expected. Maybe you could flip Marlins and Phillies.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty
expected, though, I would say.
Yeah.
Then the NL Central, the Brewers 14-5 as well. They technically have the best record in the NL due to run differential. The Cubs 11-6. The Pirates, even though they lost O'Neal Cruz, they're at 12-7. The St. Louis Cardinals 8-11, and then the Cincinnati Reds at 7-11. That's still a great division, though.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I told you it's early, and with all these teams, you've got a couple. If we go back up, Mariners and Astros. They're at the bottom of their division. They won't stay there. The White Sox probably won't stay there. Yeah. The East, that doesn't matter because that's whatever. And then the next division, you've got teams that are, Cardinal fans are freaking out. We're 8-11, and then we're going to get in the next division, and you've got two teams that are almost the same record as us that are supposed to be doing
phenomenal
too.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's like
we're 19, 20 games into the season. You still have about 143 games left.
Well, that's my
so I mean, it's
thing. It's like what 62 games or whatever, and the Cardinals aren't even at 20, and like everyone's like freaking out. And I'm like, I mean, we get to 50 games. Okay,
you
like
get All-Star break, and then it might
like
be
you start getting a little later.
Yeah.
You get into June, and we're really still struggling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. But hey, there's been even at All-Star break, there's like the Braves when they won the World Series. When the Braves won the World Series, they were under 500 at the All-Star break.
Well, 2 years ago, the Cardinals, remember, they went on like that 20-game win streak or something like that to make the playoffs at the very end.
And then obviously, lastly, at the NL West, the Diamondbacks, they are leading the division at 11-8. Then after that, no team has a winning record. The Dodgers are at 9-8. 9-10. Sorry. Padres 9-11. Giants 6-14, and then the Rockies 5-14. Real quick, it's pretty interesting. Chris Bryant. This is his second year on the Rockies. He hit his first home run at Coors Field the other day.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of sad considering that
Coors Field, yeah.
But I mean, you've got two teams here, Dodgers and Padres, 9-10, 9-11, and even the Giants weren't supposed to be that bad.
No,
so
I mean, they had a disappointing year last year. I mean, it wasn't as good as it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
but I mean, the Padres. I mean, a lot of people picked the Padres to win the World Series.
Well, I mean,
or at least make it to the World Series, or win the NL.
But I mean, the Padres do have
Tatis is coming back.
He's coming back, but
tonight.
Still, it doesn't always mean. I mean, you still have Soto. You still have
Soto. You still have Cronenworth. You still have Machado.
Yeah, there's plenty.
You still have all these guys, but the pitching is still a little questionable. But yeah, standings. Obviously, we'll go over that when they update next week. As you said, the Rays, they started season 13-0. Obviously, one of the best starts to a season that will be history. Then the Braves, they went 8 straight. And honestly, as a Braves fan, I love Acuna. But as a person that is not a Braves fan, that is a Cardinals fan, I see Acuna has been playing phenomenal this year. I don't know how much you've kept up with Acuna.
Not much, but
okay. I think personally he is leading. He's the front runner right now in the NL for MVP, in my personal opinion.
I mean, record-wise, your top stats.
He's tied second in WAR right now at 1.3. So I mean, he leads his team in batting average, leads his team in stolen bases, leads his team in extra base. I believe extra base hits, or he might be tied with Sean Murphy and Matt Olson. I don't know 100% on that one.
Gotcha.
But still, I don't know. It's I just didn't know if you I'd watched Acuna, not watched Acuna, but at least seen stuff of Acuna a little bit.
I think my prediction was Acuna or Freeman, right? I think it was. So yeah, I mean, I would say potential considering I thought he was a potential MVP before the season started.
There you go. So love to see it. And Max Scherzer, he got ejected from the game the other day. And obviously, he's a pitcher, if you had to make the assumption, it was legal substance.
Yeah, obviously.
But it was interesting because he said it was rosin. It was from the rosin bag, is what he said. And he actually changed his first glove. He had a glove to begin with, obviously. And then he changed it to a second glove. And then after that, the ump checked his hand or whatever inside the glove, and then ejected him.
Interesting.
Which is very interesting. We have a clip of that right now.
Well, Max Scherzer just popped out with a new glove because Phil Cuzzy told him that he had to take the glove he was using out of play.
Well, he checked his right hand, he checked his left hand, and then he went inside the glove, Cuzzy, which is very strange for an umpire to put his hand inside your glove. I would not like that. And he's got to go down to the clubhouse either to wash his hands or get a new glove. Remember, Domingo Germán recently at Yankee Stadium was asked to wash the rosin off his hand.
Right.
I don't know if it was pine tar or some other substance for Max.
So what would cause them to take the glove out of play?
If he put his hand in the glove and he felt stickiness inside the glove. So he puts his hand in there. It's very unusual. And then he checks the new one and he says that one's good to go.
But if it's a sticky substance, he should be.
And obviously from that, he would get his second glove, and then he would then check it again, and then Max Scherzer would then get ejected, which was pretty interesting. Phil Cousy, who was the umpire that ejected Max Scherzer, there's only been 3 ejections from pitcher ejections from this new like illegal substance / pit checking equipment of the pitcher rule, pretty much they put into effect last year. There's only been 3 ejections. Phil Cousy is the umpire that has done all 3 of those ejections.
Yeah, that's kind of
Interesting.
shady,
Yeah,
or
it's
like
a little interesting, I would say.
Yeah, definitely a sticky situation there for the MLB.
I like that one. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I was telling you this, or I don't know if I was telling you this actually. Who was I telling? Anyway, I'll just say it again.
Yeah.
I don't think he was. I don't think it was him. I don't think he had anything illegal.
I don't think so.
Based off of his reaction, because if you look at you can go on like YouTube and look up MLB compilation of all pitchers that have ever been, kicked out, suspended for illegal substances. Every single one just kind of accepts the fate.
Yeah,
like they're all just like, I got caught. Dang it.
I mean, there was a pitcher. I think it was Necro. I forgot Phil Necro. It was his son that eventually played, who had a nail filer in his back pocket, and then when all the umps were coming to this was like in the 70s or 60s or whatever, when they were all coming to like surround him and stuff. Yeah, he got his hand out of his back pocket and just put his hand out like he was just like taking his hand out of his back pocket, like acting like that was on the ground right there, but then the ump saw it fall out of his back pocket. And was like, yeah, you're gone. Yeah. So, and then he just walks, obviously, because like you said,
most of the time, they know whatever. He was like the first one that I've seen. Like, I know there's probably at least one, but he was like, he went crazy, like he was super mad. So I'm like, I don't really know if that was.
And plus, if it's rosin, they have a rosin bag on the mound.
Yeah,
rosin's not an illegal substance. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know if it's on the mound, it's not legal substance.
Yeah,
it says. And if it helps the pitcher if it gives the pitcher an unfair advantage, then take it off the mound. Give another alternative.
Well, my thing is, I mean, you've given the batter how many advantages at this point? The pitchers can't have anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying they need illegal substances, but like the way they're changing the game is to basically more scoring, more whatever. Yeah. So then, like, I mean, you can't just start taking away like for something like rosin and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree. The Oakland Athletics, they've agreed to buy land for a future Las Vegas ballpark. This pretty much puts it almost in writing that the A's are going to move to Las Vegas. This has been talked about for, I would say, probably about a year and a half, 2 years now. And we've said in segment 1, like Oakland, like the city of Oakland, the front office, like this is on y'all.
Yep.
Pretty much. Just because y'all let this happen, fans, you didn't buy enough tickets. Mm-hmm. And it's Oakland. Like, I'm sorry, but Oakland right now is ran by the Warriors.
It's not. The Warriors aren't even in Oakland.
Are they not? I thought they were in.
They moved to San Francisco.
Oh, that's right.
They went across. They moved across the bridge. So now Oakland won't have a team.
That is right. I forgot about that. Yeah. So exactly. So Oakland, the only team you have is the A's. The A's haven't been relevant since they went on that win streak that Moneyball's about. Yeah. I mean, honestly.
The last time they were relevant was when the movie was made about them, and that's about it.
I mean, when they had Matt Olson and Matt Chapman, they were pretty relevant, but they weren't winning games. They weren't making the playoffs. So it doesn't help them, really. Speaking of expansions, or movements, I guess, Salt Lake City, Las Vegas, and Nashville, most likely for expansion or a relocation. I believe the Rays are looking at Montreal for a relocation, just because their ballpark is terrible. I don't know if you've seen it before.
I've seen it. It looks
awful. It's terrible.
It looks bad. Like, I've never seen it like a person. But
in my opinion, a ballpark should never have a roof. An MLB ballpark should never have a roof. In my opinion, I don't.
Yeah,
like that.
I get that. Although I like, which one has it where they can close?
Is it Marlins?
Brewers?
I don't know.
Someone's got one that can open and close.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that just because there's no rain out. Like, keep it open most of the time, but then when when there's nothing you can do, then shut it.
I agree. And I just don't like it when it's always closed. It's always like
it just looks.
yeah.
It just doesn't. I mean, like it needs to be in the sun.
Exactly. Yeah,
like
I
baseball
agree.
should be played in the sun.
I agree.
At least that's what I associate it with.
I mean,
so.
I do too. Yeah. And there's other cities that are rumored, such as Charlotte, Portland, San Antonio, and Mexico City, which is interesting.
Yeah, I just don't think that's. I think
because
NFL is all go to Mexico City. Every single team's like go to Mexico City, but I still think there's a reason no one's ever actually gone there yet.
Yeah, no,
you know, because it's been rumored Mexico City for at least 10 years in different sports, and not once has it really like caught any traction or anything. So I think they just throw that out there just to please people.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. But I think San Antonio would be a pretty cool one. You know, I mean, just because it's Texas, the Spurs are there.
That is true.
I mean, I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool. I think Portland. I don't know so much. I don't know about Portland. I mean, I think it'd be another cool attraction, another team there other than Trailblazers.
No, I think Portland's not a not very compared to the other ones on those.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte.
Portland's probably the worst. Like,
100%. If Charlotte gets an MLB team, oh my gosh, the Carolinas are gonna go crazy.
Although it'll be hard to pry a lot of them away from being Braves fans or whatever.
But I mean, I'm a Braves fan. I would probably be part Charlotte, whatever they are, and part Braves fan, just because I
till they get put in the same division, then it's like,
I mean, if that's the case, then I'm gonna be a Braves fan.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Fernando Tatis, he comes back for his first game since 2021 after being suspended for PED use back in 2022. It's been a long time. It's been a year and a half since he's played, since we have seen Ronald Acuna. Or not Ronald.
What? Whoa. Where'd that come from?
I don't know. You had me on Braves.
Yeah, he's just,
for Fernando Tatis. Sorry.
Yes.
Fernando Tatis has played. He plays tonight. Padres play the Diamondbacks at 9:40 in Arizona. Look out for him to be back. We have some contract extensions. Reds pitcher Hunter Green. I mean, he's a pretty good young pitcher. I wouldn't say one of the best. He gets a 6-year, $53 million contract extension. It's not bad considering he has his moments, but then he doesn't have many. I think he has like maybe he only has like 3 or 4 pitches.
Oh wow,
he doesn't have a lot. I mean, his main thing is his like fastball.
Yeah, quality over quantity, I guess so.
I mean, I think the average speed on his fastball is like 100.4.
Oh yeah,
he's
pretty good there.
I mean, it makes sense. Logan Webb from the San Francisco Giants, he gets a 5-year, $90 million contract extension. He did have a pretty good year last year. So pretty much worth it, and the Giants need some type of air quotes long-term pitching because they don't have that. I mean, ever since Lincecum retired and then Bumgarner left, they haven't really had that, to be fair. Pretty cool thing. Clayton Kershaw, he has 200th win a couple days ago. In my opinion, probably a top 10 pitcher all time, in my opinion. Top 15 at least. I mean, he doesn't have speed. But oh my goodness, the movement on his sweeping curve.
He does get a lot of movement. That's for sure.
Might be one of the best curveballs I've seen ever in my life, in my opinion. And I just wanted to talk about Matt Chapman real quick, because he is probably having one of the best starts to a season I've seen in a very, 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 very long time.
Who's Matt Chapman?
Third baseman for the Blue Jays.
I'm just kidding.
Okay,
I'm making a joke because he isn't like necessarily the biggest name in the world.
Especially on the Blue Jays as well. But he is looking like the best player in baseball. He is second, and this is the whole MLB, by the way. He's second in average, 9th in home runs, 8th in RBIs. He's first in OPS, and he's first in WAR. For those that don't know what WAR is wins above replacement. So pretty much he is responsible for 1.4 wins, or he has that effect on the team. So, for instance, if a player has a negative WAR, so like Marcell Ozuna, so pretty much he is costing his team wins, or he's costing his team games, pretty much, if you have a negative WAR. Just to put that into perspective, he is first in WAR at 1.4. I believe after that, Brandon Nimmo and Acuna are then tied at second, 1.3. Garrett Cole is the first the number one pitcher in WAR at 1.2, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt Chapman, he is playing absolutely phenomenal. And also, he's one of the best defensive third basemen in the league. He's probably right. He's probably second behind Arenado, in my opinion, I would say.
Probably.
And also, Arenado, I don't know if you saw the play he had on his birthday, where it was like he threw it from like the other side of the foul line to first.
See, you saying that could be like a million Arenado clips. I mean, I'm just like,
yeah.
knowing him, like
I just remembered it.
I
but
probably have seen it. The thing is, I mean,
yeah.
he makes those, like, for me especially, like I see those plays all the time, and I'm just like, okay, like, it's almost to the point I'm like, MLB, why do you even post this anymore? Like, this is just expected.
Yeah,
which,
exactly. Yeah.
We shouldn't just like, don't show it because it's expected, but it is definitely one of the like premier. I mean, he just makes
he will go down as one of the best defensive players of all time.
Yep,
100%. I mean, he's won 10 straight Gold Gloves.
Yeah.
I believe if he wins the Gold Glove again this year,
which
I think it's either this year and next year. I think it's just this year. If he wins it again this year, it's the most Gold Gloves a player has won.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if you've seen offensively, he's putting up. If the Cardinals were like, at least quite a bit above 500. Like if you switch places with, I think the Cubs were second when we looked at it.
Yeah.
If you switch places, Arenado's probably up there for MVP right now.
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah.
So
I mean, and in the NL, I mean, for right now, I mean, you have Acuna, and then Arenado, maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of up in the air.
It's very wide open in the NL right now, I would say. Speaking of, but then the AL, the Astros, they're struggling. They're at 8-11. They're third in the AL West. And we talked about earlier how a lot of these teams that we know that are good, they have great rosters.
Yep.
They'll bounce back. The Astros, their pitching has not been good. Their main Altuve hasn't been very good. Springer's been, their star player. And this does happen for the Astros quite a bit. They have these little spurts where like Altuve can't play well, Springer can't play well. Springer's on the Blue Jays. I'm sorry, I meant Bregman. My bad. Alex Bregman, he's not playing well. I haven't heard Jordan's name in.
I think he hit like a home run like one of the first couple games, and then that's like pretty much all I've heard of him too.
Yeah, I mean Jordan hasn't played to what we know he can play like. I mean the pitching, they lost Verlander, Christian Javier, Luis Garcia are their best pitchers right now. So I mean,
they're kind of struggling. But like I said, it's a long season. It's early. I mean, because I have Astros and Cardinals in the World Series, and right now they're both
struggling,
like 8-11 and stuff, 8-12, and I'm like, wow, that's not great. But like I said, I mean, these teams, that have been consistently good for the past. Astros not as long as the Cardinals, but that are consistently good. They find a way. I mean, Bumgarner just got DFA'd or whatever.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Cardinals will probably pick him up, and next thing you know, he's back to being. I mean, look what we've done with Montgomery and just other pitchers. So when Lance Lynn gets traded to the Cardinals, he comes back home to the Cardinals. He turns back into old Lance Lynn. Like, I'm not worried about it.
You're not worried about it. Yeah, and I mean, I feel like at this point, like it's like we just hope that the teams we pick to win their division or whatever just make playoffs.
Oh yeah,
at this point,
yeah,
because I believe the NL we both chose Braves. NL East we both chose Braves. NL Central we both chose Cardinals.
Yeah.
NL West you picked the Dodgers, right?
I think I did.
Padres?
I don't think
I picked Padres.
I think I might have picked Dodgers. I think we went different.
Yeah. And then AL East, you went Blue Jays.
I went Blue Jays, Blue Jays, Orioles, and Yankees, they're all right there.
And Rays, too. They're number one.
Well, what I'm saying is those three are like dead there. Even.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure that they'll probably get 3 teams then.
Yeah,
so,
probably. Yeah.
But I'm just hoping they...
AL Central, I believe we both picked the Guardians, right?
I think so,
I think so, yeah. And then AL West, we picked... I picked Astros.
Yeah, I picked Astros.
Yeah. I almost picked Rangers, but it is what it is. Diamondbacks, obviously, they're showing out in the NLS. Their first. Corbin Carroll's having a phenomenal season. Zach Gallen, he's our Cy Young pick. He's both of our Cy Young picks. He's playing very well. So yeah, I mean Christian Walker. If you told me Christian Walker was going to pop off this season, I would have thought you were crazy, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is, so showing my MLB knowledge.
Yeah. Diamondbacks, though, they're playing phenomenal. And real quick, we have 2 little questions. Well, technically 3. for both of us. What team right now is looking the best, and which team to you is looking the worst, or not really the worst, or which team are you just kind of disappointed in, I guess, pretty much. So we'll go with what team to you is looking the best.
Best right now. I mean, obviously, there's the Rays, but I'm gonna go different. I'm gonna pick the Brewers.
The Brewers.
Yeah,
I like it.
The Brewers are. I mean, I hate to say it because it's my division. You know,
they have. I mean, their pitching.
But they're 14-5 right now. I mean, they're
Yep.
they're on a 4-game win streak.
Yep.
7-3 the last 10. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, home they're 5-1 at home.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, because I know they have the same record as Atlanta.
Yeah.
But
they have a better
Brewers.
differential.
I mean, I guess kind of a surprise too for a lot of people.
I mean, 'cause they don't past 2-3 years they don't have a good offense.
Yeah, but what you're seeing with all these great offenses is that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That you need the pitching, which is what people have always tried to argue. I mean, like, is it pitching? Is it offense? Which to an extent you need both. But if you can't, even just consistent pitching.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have that, you're, probably not going to be a great team. Which is why the Astros, Cardinals, even Dodgers, Padres, that's why they're kind of at the bottom there.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I do think the Brewers are they've definitely shocked a lot of people. They shocked me, obviously. Because their offense. I mean, outside of like Willie Adames and like Yelich and Rowdy Tellez, like they don't really have much, you know. And I mean, it helps when you have Corbin Burns, Woodruff, and Peralta in your rotation, then Devin Williams in the bullpen. Yep. So that's nice. Obviously, I have the Braves. Who would have thought? Of course. I mean, we went on an 8-game win streak. Sean Murphy's playing phenomenal. Acuna's playing like the MVP that he should be. Pitching could be better. Our bullpen's playing very well. It's just our starting guys. Like, I mean, other than Strider, Charlie Morton's been not very good. Kyle Wright was all right in his first start this year, but they've been decent. Then to you, who has looked the worst or disappointed to you?
Well, I mean, obviously I'm disappointed in my Cardinals. But obviously the worst is the A's.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously I could say that. I'll just stick with them. They're obviously by far the worst. I'll, say they're the worst. I guess you could say I was kind of disappointed in the Giants at this point. I just thought they'd be a little
better.
Better. So
I agree with that. I have the White Sox. Obviously, I've expressed with the White Sox. I mean, the offense that they have, and even the pitching, like
they shouldn't be
7-12 right now. And I mean, I understand injuries like Eloy Jimenez. Dude cannot stay on the field to save his life. Last year, Luis Robert was hurt for the season. Like, but still, you have Yohan Moncada as well. Like, you have all these players. I mean, you lost Jose Abreu. Okay, I understand that, but
he's kind of older though, right?
He's 36.
Yeah, I mean,
he's old. I mean, if anything, that might help your team. At this point, like
get younger.
I don't know. It's
frustrating when the roster is built.
Exactly.
Like that's what for us. I mean, we don't have pitching, but like offensively, we have probably one of the best offenses.
Yeah, exactly.
So but it's like they don't click all at the same time, and that's probably what's going on with the White Sox.
Yeah.
It'll be like they'll have great pitching one game, but no batter. Like they'll let up 2 runs but lose, and then the next one they'll put up 6 runs and lose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And real quick, what young player are you impressed with so far this season?
Well, I'm gonna stick with the team I watch the most.
Yeah.
I have to, but
of course, yeah.
I'm not gonna talk on a young guy I don't really watch too much, and I'm going Nolan Gorman.
Oh, I like it.
Nolan Gorman, he's batting
phenomenal,
316. I think he's got 4 home runs. No, I lied. Hold on. Let me see how many. I think I was right. Hold on.
I think it's 4.
I think it's 4. Where'd he go? 5.
Oh,
I think it's 5. I know he has a grand slam.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's good. He's doing really good right now, and he was one that everyone was kind of writing off because Jordan Walker came in and props to him, hit 12-game win streak 12-game hit streak. 12. So everyone was kind of like putting Gorman on the back burner, but I mean the way he's playing right now is what he was supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what he was supposed to be, the big deal last year, and kind of was not it at all. But the way he's playing this year is a good sign.
Yeah, very good. Oh, I 100% agree. My player is Bryson Stott from the Phillies. Okay. He's on a 17-game hit streak right now.
Wow.
To start the season. He's playing phenomenal. He's pretty much the only player on the Phillies right now that's doing anything, to be fair. And I really like Bryson Stott. I think he's a player that can definitely, in the future, win an MVP. I think he has the tool set to do that.
What age limit do you stop at young? No, because he is 25. I believe.
I would say like 26.
Okay, so he's got a year.
Yeah.
I just
well, the only reason I say he also didn't get to league till like last year, 2 years ago.
no, I know he's new to it, but I know he's a little older because I know
I would say like
when Walker was on his hitting streak, all of the Phillies fans were mad at MLB because they're posting Walker, who was 20, but not stopped.
It was 25.
25, and I'm like, well, there's a little different. One hasn't been done since Eddie Murphy, who not the actor, the
Orioles first baseman.
Yeah, from like
the 70s. Yeah.
No,
was it the 70s?
No, it was like
80s.
No, like early 1900s.
Really?
I believe so.
I thought Murphy played in like the 70s, I think.
Hold on, I'll look it up.
I know he tied Murphy. When he tied, I want to say Eddie Murphy played back then. I may be wrong.
Okay, I got it. Well, he was born in 1891, so
okay, yeah.
So early 1900s.
Wait, that is the wrong Eddie Murphy.
Which one?
The Eddie Murphy
that you're talking about is different.
Yes.
You're talking about a different Eddie Murphy.
Yes, I'm talking about
the Eddie Murphy he matched was the one from way back because it was because they said it was the first thing because the only reason I know it was way back is because Ted Williams.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it was Ted Williams. Then it went to Eddie Murphy in backtrack. So
I think I might be. Hold on.
He did play for the Brewers in the 70s and 80s. I did get confirmation.
I'm thinking of Eddie Murray. That's who I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking of. He played for the Orioles. That's what I was thinking of. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we're going to get into the NBA playoffs, at least the Eastern side. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Real Talk Sports. My name is Ethan Richmond, alongside my co-host, Caden Glaze. Caden, the playoffs are upon us. NBA playoffs. Mm-hmm. It's been about time. I feel like it's been forever.
It has seemed like it's been a while.
It feels like it's been a while. Playoffs are upon us. The play-in has been played. The teams are in the playoffs. We've been through the first two games of every single series. We're hopping to the East right now. The Bucks and the Heat, they are tied at 1-1 in the series. That is due to Giannis getting hurt in Game 1. He did not play in Game 2. Playoff Jimmy, it's in full effect. He dropped 35 points, 11 assists in Game 1. They dropped a decent 25 in Game 2. Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton were able to take care of business in Game 2 and get the win for the Bucks. Question: can the Bucks outlast the Heat long enough for Giannis to return?
I think they definitely can. I mean, I think the Bucks, like their roster for one, I mean, is way deeper than the Heat.
Yeah.
So like honestly, the Bucks are good enough where, they lose Giannis, they still should be good. I mean, they still have Drew Holiday,
Middleton.
Chris, Middleton.
I think they still have DiVincenzo. I think.
Yeah, I mean, even if they don't, they still have plenty of depth pieces. I mean, even just Middleton and Drew Holiday, that should be enough still.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
To beat that Heat team.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless Jimmy Butler keeps going crazy. But, I mean, so I definitely think they can. Now, will they? I don't know. Yeah. It's definitely interesting. For me, I kind of want the Celtics to make it pretty far. Yeah, so I'm kind of like, okay, I want the Heat too, but I don't know. I think the Bucks probably will still make it out.
I don't know. I think the Bucks can outlast the Heat. The only thing there is my big matchup for this series is Lopez versus Adebayo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because Lopez, I didn't realize he's a Defensive Player of the Year finalist, which is crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know he was a finalist.
He has some of the best block rates in the league.
Yeah.
apparently. But like him and obviously Adebayo is a big like paint guy.
Paint,
interior,
yeah.
So that's a very good matchup. And then obviously you have Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton. I mean, I believe it was Middleton that dropped 33 in game 2, I believe.
Yeah. He's going to have to win.
And that's the thing. I don't know if like I'm sure people realize that like Middleton has these random little games to where when Giannis plays, it's like okay, like Middleton, he'll make a couple shots, he'll probably drop 20 or 22 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then Giannis is out and then Middleton turns into a freaking like Grant Hill.
Yeah, just like unstoppable. Yeah, he does that pretty often.
Yeah, and I mean it's crazy, but pretty cool right there. I think the Bucks can. My thing though is the Heat are always that, like ever since the bubble. The Heat have been very underrated in the playoffs.
They have been. I mean, playoff Jimmy.
Playoff Jimmy. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
The only thing with the Heat is losing Tyler Hero.
Yeah, that hurt.
Which there was a lot of debate which loss was bigger, Giannis to the Bucks or Hero to the Heat.
Oh my goodness.
And well, it makes sense because like the Heat don't have
shooters.
Like beyond him, they don't have as much depth. Yeah. But I mean, I'll just say I think it's both big losses. Like I'm not gonna like say one's more whatever. Yeah. But I think if he was still playing, I would definitely feel a lot more confident in the Heat.
Oh, I would too. Yeah, 100%.
But without him, I'm a little more like, I don't know.
They don't have that 3-point shooter that they can rely on. I 100% agree. Moving on, Celtics. They absolutely dominate the Hawks in the first 2 games. As a Hawks fan, I'm not surprised. The Celtics are like our kryptonite in the playoffs for some reason. I remember we played them back in 2008, and we won like 1 game of the series, and we thought we were like just won the finals.
Yeah,
and it was like crazy. Now, I think we can get 1 game out of the series in Atlanta.
Yeah,
I think we can.
Yeah,
but
you gonna ask me the question?
Do the Hawks even?
No. You know, in Star Wars, in The Mandalorian, I don't know if you watch it or whatnot.
I haven't watched the new season.
Oh, okay. Well, this isn't a big like part of it, so I'm gonna tell you. So basically, Grogu has an access to this button that just says no, and he hits it a lot. That's like, I read this and that's immediately when like no, they do not have a chance at all. No offense. I mean,
I don't blame you.
I think it was just interesting because you're like, oh, you know, watch out for the Hawks. Everyone's sleeping on them. And then I checked the game and they were down like 30, 35, and I was like, I don't think they have it.
I got that text. It was the middle of game 1, right? Mm-hmm. And then Hawks were down. I was watching a little bit of it, and the Hawks were down by like 30 or 35 or whatever. He texted me. I saw the text. I wasn't gonna respond.
Oh, I know. I knew you saw it. I knew you wouldn't respond. I mean, one thing about Ethan is Ethan doesn't respond to anything. Ethan is a terrible responder.
I've gotten a little better.
He has. But yeah, I knew when sending that he wasn't gonna respond. But I had to,
especially that. Come on.
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna reply to that. Yeah. But anyways, the Hawks. I think they can get 1 game, maybe. But it's literally Trae Young has done nothing. It's all been DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, Trae Young, I mean, looking at like his playoff games.
Yeah, no.
Other
than that Knicks series 2 years ago, he hasn't played very well.
Like his last little bit or whatever, he's gone cold.
Well, okay, so honestly, if I go on a rant, I'm sorry. When we made the Eastern Conference Finals and we lost to the Bucks, I still will never forgive that referee for standing in the shooting spot of Trae Young. Because if Trae Young would have never tweaked his ankle, I still think we would have had a very good chance to make the finals that year.
Okay.
And I'm saying that as a Hawks fan, and I know that.
And who would they have played in the finals?
Who did the Bucks beat in the finals that year?
Who did the
Warriors?
Did the Bucks beat the Warriors?
I think so. It was the Warriors, yeah. Was it? Wasn't the Lakers. It wasn't. It was.
Then okay.
It was the Warriors.
So they just prolonged losing.
Okay, but
I know.
I would want. It's the same thing with the Falcons. I would have seen my
want
team.
them. Yes, want to make it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
no, I understand.
Yeah. Anyways, the 76ers, they win just outright in game 1 and 2. I think the Nets were blessed that Durant and Kyrie played on their team this season, because if they weren't, they would be a lottery pick.
Of course.
And we talked about Cam Thomas before when he was going off.
Yeah.
When Durant got traded. In game 2, he got 4 minutes total in that game. Now, we said this before the show. I've seen on a lot of social media and stuff that he's a defensive liability.
Yeah.
And I understand that. But so is Trae Young.
Yeah.
Trae Young's probably the worst defensive liability. He still starts. He's still put in the game.
I mean,
and I understand Cam Thomas and Trae Young are different.
Yeah.
But we've seen Cam Thomas drop 40+ points in consecutive games.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Nets are a liability.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they should not even be here. Like, really, just, I mean, I hate to say, like, I love Bridges.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's super talented, like, really good.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, they don't deserve to be here, especially not with what's around them or anything. Yeah. So, I mean, what do you have to lose? Exactly. He puts up 45 points. Yeah. At least you get at least one positive post from the NBA. Like, oh, good job, Cam Thomas, whatever. Yeah. If you don't play him, you know.
Yeah. I mean, Mikal Bridges dropped 33 in game 1. Yeah.
Like, you have to score points. Like, I get you want to, defense, but you also need some offense.
Yeah, because 76ers are still a great defensive team as well.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they don't really have a shot anyway. So, I mean, what's it gonna hurt playing them?
With a bang. Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they do need to play him. Not even start him. Just play him more. 4 minutes? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, ridiculous. And then the Knicks and Cavs, they are tied at 1 apiece. Donovan Mitchell, he dropped 38 in a game 1 loss. They didn't win that game that he dropped 38 in. But the Cavs do win game 2 behind a great game by Darius Garland. He dropped 33, 7, and 3 in that game. Mm-hmm. And one player I'm very disappointed in, and I'm kind of, I don't want to prey on his downfall, but since his contract and since Knicks, I can't stand Knicks fans, by the way. Jalen Brunson.
Who can?
Yeah, Jalen Brunson has played horrendous in these first 2 games. Game 2, he shot 5 for 17.
Yeah, that's not what you're paying him for. Yeah. I mean, he got to the playoffs.
He did. They got to the playoffs. Congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, and you technically you win the first game.
Yeah.
But I mean, you might win the second one if he plays better too.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, I definitely think. I mean, for what he's getting paid, like he's almost getting paid superstar, money.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So you better be like when the playoffs come, that's when you got to play your best. Like that's what makes the I think kind of separates the great from the elite is when it comes down to the playoffs. Who's actually who's actually playing well.
Yeah,
because if you carry your team to the playoffs, good job. But then you put up 10 points, 12 points. That's not. That's not you're not actually. You're just taking advantage of some dude. Oh, it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
In November, I'm tired. Good for you. But the playoffs is where you make your money.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you're not winning or not doing it, then you're not worth that money.
Exactly. I 100% agree. And Jalen Brunson has had his games. I believe he dropped 50+ points in 2 games or 3 games this season. Like he's played well. He's done good enough to where you can argue that he was worth the contract.
He does what most Knicks players do.
Yeah.
Great in the season, comes to the playoffs, and then just kind of fizzle out. Just
doesn't know how to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think. And in that series, because it's an interesting series because I've seen no one talk about it one bit.
Yeah, it's almost like I don't even know when the games are. Like I don't even see when. I'll just happen to be on ESPN app and it'll be like, Knicks vs. Cavs, 3 minutes left in the second quarter. I'm like, what? This game's going on?
Yeah. But it's pretty interesting because it's like the Cavs, obviously they didn't make the playoffs last year, and then with Donovan Mitchell, they're 5 or 4. They're a 4, I believe. I believe they're. It's a 4. It's the 4 and 5.
Bucks are 1, Celtics are 2, Sixers are 3. So Cavs would be 4, I would think.
4, and then
Knicks are 5.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, 4-seeded Cavs team, man. That's crazy in my opinion.
But I would have thought they would have blown the series out.
I think
first game loss really surprised me, just because I felt like the top half of the East and the bottom half is so divided. In the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, that's why we're not really other than the Heat, we're not really. And they won 1 game.
Yeah, yeah.
But other than that, we're not talking about the East really because Celtics are taking care of business.
Yeah.
The 76ers are taking care of business, which you expect, but no one's going to talk about it. It's not like the West where you've got,
you still want a competitive series.
Yeah,
at least. Yeah. And I 100% agree. The East overall, if Giannis would have never gotten hurt, Knicks and Cavs would have been is the most interesting.
Yeah, series. Probably be the only one that actually is worth watching.
Exactly. We're not going to go to break. We're going to go straight into the next segment.
Let's do it.
Because it's the western side the Western Conference for the NBA playoffs. Starting off, the Nuggets, they are absolutely dominating Timberwolves through 2 games. Jamal Murray and Anthony Edwards, they've battled out the whole series. They are leading both their teams in scoring in the series, and they both dropped 40-plus in Game 2.
Wow.
Jamal Murray got the last laugh in that one as the Nuggets won. And it's not like Jokic isn't doing anything.
He just doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to. Yeah, I mean
exactly.
And I mean to be fair, for Game 1, I believe he dropped I think it was 24 and 13 or 22 and 13. I don't know what he dropped in Game 2, but obviously it was enough for them to win.
Yeah, I mean, there's no need. Like, my thing is, like, people are like putting up stats. Like, I know I just went on this rant of, that's how you get paid, is putting up stats, but also just efficiency and giving what the defense is. Like, he doesn't need to put up,
50 points.
But if he's getting key rebounds, key assists, then it's worth it.
And that's his game, too.
Yeah.
He doesn't put up these 40-point, 50-point performances. He gets these triple-doubles, which accumulate to him being responsible for almost all his team's points, or half his team's points.
Yeah, or a lot of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say this series is probably the most boring West series.
I would agree.
I mean, the T-Wolves, they're a team that I still, for years, I don't know how they're always still, they're not
there.
Yeah, they're always just not a step behind. It just doesn't make sense to me because
they've dealt with a lot of injuries. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns was injured last year.
Yeah,
he was injured this year.
But they had him. They got Edwards. They had Russell for a little bit.
Yeah, like
D'Angelo Russell, he's
not doing bad.
Off and on the last Lakers game, he was kind of rough. But other than that, they
also have Rudy Gobert. Don't forget.
Yeah, so for years, I feel like they're on the on the verge. They're on the verge. But I've never just seen them actually get there.
At some point, it's got to fall down on coaching.
Yeah.
At some point, because when you have those kind of players, I mean, it's
almost like the Kings.
Yeah, exactly.
But except the Kings finally they did it. They finally kind of made the jump because it was always the Kings are getting a lot of good young players. Eventually, and then we finally saw it.
Yep.
The T-Wolves, I feel have been the same length of time. Eventually, they just coaching or whatever, they just can't.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I'm sure you're gonna have fun talking about this one. The Grizzlies, they tie up the series in Game 2 against the Los Angeles Lakers. Anthony Davis in Game 1, he puts up a phenomenal stat line: 27 points, 12 rebounds, with 7 blocks in Game 1. That was phenomenal. John Morant obviously did not play in Game 2 due to injury. I can't remember what the injury was.
I think it was his wrist.
Yeah, it was his wrist. It was his hand. It was something with his hand. I know that.
Yeah, something around there.
So obviously, as a big Lakers advocate, yourself, I mean, for those that don't know, homie has been saying Lakers. Okay, I will say, you were right. Lakers didn't make playoffs. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
Now let's do the play-in.
But they're here. And they did win the first. It's tied up.
They're tied
and
up.
It's going back to L.A.
It's going back to L.A.
So, I mean, to steal a game in Memphis is all you technically have to do.
That is very true. Very true. But I will say, when John Morant comes back, if he comes back,
the Lakers will win easier.
If he comes back?
If he comes back, the Lakers win easier. Here's why.
Oh, okay.
Watching, the Grizzlies are a more efficient team because they are deep. Yep. That team has depth, and when John Morant is playing, he needs the ball. Yeah. That's not his fault. He's a superstar. Yeah. He's got to have the ball, and he's good. Yeah. However, not having him makes him spread the ball so much more, and you don't know who's going to be the star player that game, which makes it harder to defend. You still have Jaren Jackson. You still have tons of shooters.
Desmond Bane.
Yeah, so he technically almost, I don't want to say limits them, because he does help them propel.
It's almost that effect like, in my opinion, the Hawks have sometimes with Trae Young, in terms of he's a star, so you got to give him the ball, but sometimes he's very inefficient. To the point where it costs you.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's where in the game last night, AD awful. Nowhere to be seen. He didn't leave the hotel for the game. They left him at the hotel. I mean, has he just plays a decent game?
Average.
Yeah, they probably win that game. But you had dudes that step up out of nowhere, for the Grizzlies, or there's one dude, I don't even remember his name. He blocked AD 3 plays in a row or something. I'm he was a guard. I'm what is happening? But so I mean, I think honestly, if John Morant comes back, I feel like the Lakers almost do better because let's say it comes down to a last minute shot. Who do you defend when it's Bane maybe, or they have
Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, like they've got tons of people to shoot.
Yeah.
When John Morant's in, we all know the ball's going to John Morant.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's just a little bit of a different aspect to it that I feel more confident, honestly, with John Morant playing than I do with him not playing.
Gotcha. Okay. Interesting.
Yep.
I think that's the first I've heard that before with John Morant. I think. So,
I mean, they went 37-12, I think, without him.
That's true. Yeah.
This season, that is, I don't know what that is on, like a 82 game. Season, but it's still, very high, very high. So
100%. So, I mean, in my opinion, in this series, I do think the Lakers can win this series. I think they have a very even if John Morant plays, he doesn't play, whatever. I think the Lakers do have a very good chance. If they win this game, if they win this series, do they play? I believe they play the Nuggets next, right?
I think it would be the Kings or Warriors, and I think they take the Kings.
I don't. Oh, okay.
I know it's gonna be.
We'll talk about.
Plenty of. But I'm just saying, I told you they could go on a run.
You did tell me. Yep.
And then there's no guarantee that the Nuggets make it.
That is true.
So then you're looking at so I'm just saying
that's true.
What I said earlier was they'll sneak in and they'll make a big push.
That's very true.
It's still a possibility.
It's a very, very big possibility. The Kings, they are taking a commanding 2-0 lead over the defending champs, the Golden State Warriors. And I think most people saw this coming. I kind of did, in terms of the Warriors are terrible on the road. Mm-hmm. They're one of the worst teams all time on the road this season. Like, I think they've only won like 5 or 6 games on the road this year.
Really?
I think it's not very good. They have like it's I believe it's one of, if not the worst win percentage on the road in a single season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not very good. So now they are going back to Golden State for 2 games, but the Kings are a good enough team to take one away.
Oh yeah.
So
tonight,
yeah,
it's the one of the games. Which actually, the scheduling is awful. It's like 10 and 10:30. I'm like, I got school in the morning. Like, I got class.
And also, it's like you have like the Hawks and Celtics. Like you'll have the Hawks and Celtics. You have to wait 2 days for them to play. Mm-hmm. But then another series. Oh, it's like in. Like 1 day.
One day, yeah.
It's weird.
It makes no sense, but I mean the Kings, the big game which we're about to talk about is if you want to go through that first, or it's fine if I bring it up.
You're good. Yeah.
So Draymond Green suspended Game 3 for stepping.
Pretty much like
personally
stepping on
Sabonis, but then his action afterwards, I think got him suspended.
Yep.
Because of who he is. That sounds bad, but I mean, if you look at his track record,
and that's what Adam Silver practically said.
Yeah,
the NBA practically said, because Adam Silver was in attendance in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So
you see that,
like, with what he did and his track record, they looked at that and they said he's suspended.
And I've been told this since a young age. It's always the retaliator that gets caught.
Yep.
Like, you're always taught that. So like, and I don't know, did he truly grab it that hard? I don't think he grabbed it that hard. I could see his excuse of he went to cover and his arm was there, which I don't know if that's necessarily true. I do think he tried to somewhat grab it, but he didn't twist it, and it wasn't hard enough that Draymond easily picked it up out, but then he stomps on him. But so he's out Game 3.
Yeah.
If they lose this first one, there's what, 2 more games then? So the Kings would be 3-0, and there'd be 2 more games in Sacramento.
Yep.
So you would have to win 2 games on the road, with being one of the worst teams on the road. So this, I mean, him being suspended in this game tonight is like probably the series.
Yeah, and also it makes you think of the NBA Finals when Draymond got ejected. In 2016 when
3-1. Yeah,
it almost makes you think of that, because most say if Draymond doesn't get suspended, they probably win at least 1 more game.
Maybe
just because of what Draymond does for the offense. He's a good facilitator. He moves the ball well. Like,
he's an agitator too. Like that's his role. But I definitely. This one was crazy, seeing all the people afterwards that were so just support, like,
of Draymond.
And I was like, he clearly stepped on him. Like, I get he grabbed his ankle. That still doesn't give you the right then to step on him and then yell at the crowd and try to get, because my thing is, had he stepped on him, stomped on him, and then just walks off the court, he might have got suspended still, but he might not have. Like, there was probably more chance that he wasn't suspended. As soon as he went to the crowd and was screaming to the crowd and this and that, and like, you could see, like, oh, he's not playing the next game. No, it was just obvious. Like, it's just weird because everyone justifies, oh, well, that person did it first. But you're always taught as athletes to not retaliate because you will be the one to get caught.
Yep.
It's always it always works that way. It's so like it's almost to the point like, see, you're justifying his retaliation, but at the same time, if you do that, because I know like Lillard was like, oh, that's not whatever, which he clearly stomped on him. People said he barely stepped on. He had nowhere to put his foot.
He stomped on him.
Yeah, no, it was clearly obvious too. But like people are saying like, oh, it was justified, and in that Sabonis, his actions had consequences. Yeah. Well, him stomping on him has consequences too. Like that's how it works. It can't be like one person has consequences for his actions and the other doesn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was really mad because I agree with Charles Barkley. Mm-hmm. He's like, everyone's taken away from the fact that the Kings are just kicking the crap out of the Warriors. And he used different language than I did. Yeah. But and it's true. Like they're just, I mean, I will say for being 2-0 though, this is probably the most fun series for me to watch.
100%. 100%.
I think this has been the craziest, like the most fun, entertaining series to watch, even though it's 2-0.
Yeah, I would say, and I saw a video, and this person explained it pretty well, that if you showed the first if someone brand new to basketball had to watch 2 games of the past couple seasons, you would show them the first 2 games of this series.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely been
because that has been the best basketball in terms of entertainment I've seen all year.
Yeah, I mean, I would say for the playoffs, this is 1, and then Lakers and Grizzlies is probably 2.
I would agree. Yep, I agree. Yeah. And then getting to the last series real quick, Clippers and Suns, they are tied at 1-1. And real quick, Kawhi Leonard, he's been ruled out for Game 3. He's been their leading scorer. He has been playing phenomenal, so that hurts the Clippers obviously a lot. Suns, they lost the first game of the series. They lost Game 1. That was the first loss the Suns had with Durant in the lineup. Suns were 10-0 at that point with Durant in the starting lineup. They lost that game. Kawhi dropped 38 in Game 1. Then Booker, he decided to drop another 38 of his own in Game 2, leading the Suns to tie the series. Real quick, do we think the Clippers can win without Kawhi? Or is it like a Kawhi has too much of an impact?
Yeah, without Kawhi, I don't think there's a chance. I mean, there's the firepower of the Suns too much, and it stinks because the Clippers did what you had to do.
Yep.
You stole a game. Like, I mean, that's what in the NBA, the biggest thing is that first home series. If you want to upset a team, you got to just steal one. It's just steal one game, and they did it. But then Kawhi being out, now the Suns are going to be able to just at least take one away. So.
Exactly. Yeah, I 100% agree. I think, and Kawhi was turning into that Toronto Kawhi for a little bit. Mm-hmm. It was like that Kawhi Leonard that like you want to see, the Kawhi Leonard that makes you think that you don't need a super team.
Yeah, the Kawhi Leonard that like everyone thought he was gonna be like that he was the next
great,
and just kind of like
mellowed out. Injuries, load management.
Yeah, I mean injuries has been a big thing with him.
Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, that was the NBA playoffs. We'll come back next week. We'll review round 1 because I'm pretty sure by that time, hopefully, round 1 would be done. I believe, or that might be, or there might be a couple series that might be not done.
No, because I think the Lakers' next game is like Saturday.
Oh my gosh!
Right? So
we might be at the point to where a couple series might be done.
There'll be a couple. I mean, I'm sure the 76ers will be done. The Celtics will be done. Yeah. No offense. However, I mean. The Kings might be done.
Yeah, 100%. So we'll talk about. Well, obviously we'll talk about playoffs again next week. 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we're gonna get to the NFL free agency and all the new contracts and all the new trades that occurred. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Real Talk Sports. My name is Ethan Richmond, alongside my co-host Caden Glaze. And Caden, NFL free agency, obviously, it hasn't been as hectic as it used to be, obviously, because a lot of players have been signed, traded, whatever. But we do have a decent amount to get into, nonetheless. First off, go with your Ravens.
Yep.
They signed Odell Beckham Jr. to a 1-year, $18 million deal, but 15 of the 18 mil is incentives. So technically it's a 1-year, $3 million deal, technically, but incentives play a big part in that, obviously. So obviously as a Ravens fan, you get a receiver, obviously. But what were your initial thoughts / reaction when you saw this signing?
I think it's a good signing for on the field, obviously.
Yeah.
Because Bateman's young. Like, everyone's counting him out already, but he's been injured too. But when he has been on the field, he's been very consistent, route runner, open.
Yeah.
So then you're adding another top receiver. So obviously, that's a plus.
Of course, yeah.
Anytime you had a good receiver. Last time Odell played, with the Rams and their Super Bowl run, he was unstoppable. The start of the Super Bowl, I thought he might get Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It started off so well, and then he honestly kind of did a smart thing, personally, my, biomedical side coming out of me, by not playing, trying to join a team last year and play. Yeah. He let himself fully get healthy.
Yep.
He's letting himself fully get healthy, which is smart with ACL tears and that kind of thing, in my opinion. So on the field, great signing. But I think more importantly, off the field is a big deal. Lamar and Odell are buddies. I mean, they were partying.
Yeah.
When the night it got announced, they were partying together. Lamar, this is rumors, said, I want D-Hop and OBJ, then come talk to me. And apparently the Ravens were like, well, we can't get both because we don't have money for that, which you don't have money for. No one, not many people could get both, especially because actually I think it's $3 million worth of incentives. I think it's actually 15 guaranteed. I think it's flipped. So it was expensive. So, but the fact that they're like, but we'll get you one, and we'll try to get the other, it shows that the Ravens are willing to get receivers, because they always said Ravens aren't willing to get receivers. When personally, I think it's just they haven't had the money. There just hasn't been the right situation. Yeah. So I like it. I mean, obviously, as I've talked about it for now going on 3 minutes, but I think it's what the Ravens need to do if they want to keep Lamar and go win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially with Todd Monken's offense, OBJ and Rashad Bateman are the Ladd McConkey and
Donnie Mitchell.
Yes, that is with Mark Andrews, Bowers. It's this offense and J.K. Dobbins in the backfield. This offense is what is needed to win. Yeah, in this, they have the positions now to win with this scheme.
Yeah, 100%.
So I mean, I think it's a good signing.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think it's a great fit for Odell. I think it's a good atmosphere. I think with Lamar, I think it's a great quarterback to pair him up with. Because I don't know, I feel like if you paired him up with an older guy, I just don't think it would have. Like him and Aaron Rodgers, I just don't think that would have matched up well, in my personal opinion. Because I know that he was linked to the Jets for a little while. Yeah,
and I think it was a similar deal. So I think he picked the Ravens over, which also shows that Lamar's probably staying.
Oh, but, 100%. And I think we figured that out for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, I told you all this media he's traded, he's gonna be this. I'm like, no. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I 100% agree. In my personal opinion, I think Odell will probably reach all those incentives.
I do too.
I mean, it's like 1,000 yards, 90 catches.
Yeah,
it's like 90. It's like 9 touchdowns or something like that.
9 touchdowns, maybe 60 receptions.
60 receptions. Yeah.
But it's not just that. It's that, or if he just leads in that category.
Oh, he leads. Yeah. And
so let's say he gets 9 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And doesn't get 60, but he leads the team in that. He still gets that. Yeah. So I mean. I was smart incentives too, but I think I hope he does, because if he does, that means Lamar's having an MVP type year, and then
and then the Ravens probably win their division. So
and the Super Bowl.
Whoa.
Defensively,
right.
I mean,
okay,
defense wins championships.
That is true.
We've won it with Trent Dilfer.
Different era.
Yeah, I know.
Different era.
Man can hope.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of defense, the Lions, they trade Jeff Okudah to the Falcons, my Atlanta Falcons, for a 5th-round pick. Now, as a Falcons fan, I think this is decent. Okay, he was the 3rd overall pick, right?
Yes.
He was the 3rd overall pick.
Who back at that time I thought was like, oh, this is the best pick of the draft, right? I was like, this is the only surefire. Nope.
Now, to be fair, rookie year, injured.
Yeah.
Last year, he played very well beginning of the season. Kind of fell off a little bit, but he did play well. I think both teams won, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Lions got rid of a corner that they don't need because they signed Emmanuel Mosley, signed Cam Sutton.
Well, that's what we talked about. Like, and if they draft one,
exactly.
he probably would have been the 4th,
3rd or 4th guy.
Probably 4th string, honestly, because the rookie probably would have taken over. So to get a 5th round's not a terrible. I actually was kind of surprised it was only a 5th round. I was gonna actually lie to you and be like, "Oh, this is terrible for the Falcons giving up a 5th." But honestly, I think the Lions could have gotten a 4th out of him. Personally, I think he's good enough to at least get a 4th.
I think it's just because the Falcons just don't want to give up. I mean, I don't think the Falcons were willing to give up a 4th round.
Yeah, well, I think the Lions were willing to take take the best offer they could get and get rid of him.
Because also his 5th-year option, the Falcons can either decline or accept his 5th-year option. His 5th-year option would be $11.7 million, which is a lot for him. But
corners are expensive and hard to find.
And also, what the Falcons could easily do is decline it. He becomes a free agent, re-sign him.
Yeah.
To a cheaper deal. That happens a lot in free agency. In my personal, like I said, as a Falcons fan, I like it. This pretty much rules out us getting a corner in the draft, in my personal opinion, just because
you don't need one at that.
Terrell, Casey Hayward, we signed Mike Hughes, and now Okudah. That's 4.
Yeah.
We don't need a corner. And plus, I don't want, if we trade Okudah for Okudah for a 5th rounder, I don't want to draft a corner. I don't want to draft a corner, and then Okudah is like our 5th.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense
exactly,
unless. I mean, I know Hayward's getting older. So if you want him to
there's been
develop underneath, I could see it because Okudah's young.
He's
I
think he's 24, 5.
He's still young, but
there has been speculation of us cutting Casey Hayward and making room for like Christian Gonzalez if we're gonna draft him.
That's a good pick. You guys are in a rough spot. I don't really I wouldn't like your pick personally, unless.
Well, also it's just because the roster we have.
Depending on how the draft falls.
Yeah.
But if it falls how a lot of people are saying it is, like that 7 to whatever range, awful.
It's not the best.
You would either be reaching
or a first shot.
You definitely probably be reaching unless someone falls and you get an absolute steal.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I 100% agree. Devin White. He requested a trade from the Buccaneers. This comes after, who was it? It was someone that re-signed or signed. Oh my gosh, who was it? It was a linebacker. I forgot who it was.
I don't remember, but
I think it was after Bud Dupree.
Really?
I believe so. That Devin White requested a trade.
Trying to, get off the sinking ship. I mean,
so do we think they'll trade him or no?
I don't know if anyone's willing to trade.
Yeah.
For that, although. To me, he's almost worth it considering how weak the linebacker class is for this draft. I mean, there's 3 good inside linebackers this
Sanders,
draft.
Campbell, and that's it.
There's one, I forget what school he goes to. I think there's one more that's decent. But other than that, you're, you probably shouldn't take one, above the 5th round.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's that bad. So I think he's almost worth it. And especially if you're like the Bills who need a linebacker, trade for him. You don't re-sign him, but you're making a Super Bowl push. You don't necessarily need a pick.
We could see the Bears, in my opinion. Oh, no, they signed Tremaine Edmonds in.
They'll be all right.
Not the Bears, but Bills would be our perfect example.
Yeah.
Real quick, going through other stuff. Saquon Barkley, he plans to not sign his franchise tender. I think this is just a matter of he just wants more money or. Whatever. I think he will eventually.
I think he deserves more money.
He does. But
when healthy, he's probably.
But I think they want him to go through another year with no injuries.
That makes sense. I don't blame him.
I think that's another thing they want to do.
But when he's healthy, I think he's won. I was about to say, I think 100%. He is the best running back.
Yeah, 100%. Like we said before, the Falcons, they signed Bud Dupree to a 1-year deal. And I know as a Falcons fan, I am biased, but the Falcons have made a lot of under the radar kind of defensive moves. Because obviously they signed Jesse Pitts, Bates, sorry.
Bates.
Jesse Bates, phenomenal signing. They have Calais Campbell. You have Mike Hughes. You have Bud Dupree.
What I would be worried about is, like, they're all great as the secondary guy.
And I think that's
but being the number one guy, it may not work out that, because I've always thought that too. Be like, oh, what a great signing, like. Not necessarily with the Ravens, but like in other places, I'm like, that's a great sign, and it just doesn't pan out because when they're the one I agree. It just
And I think the thing with the Falcons though is that in those positions we sign guys, we also have younger guys under them that have the potential to start.
Yeah.
So I think Calais Campbell, Bud Dupree, both 1-year deals. Mike Hughes, 1-year deal. So I think a lot of it is we want to be able to win the division this year, but also at the same time
it's open. Well,
it's very open. I think it's very open.
If the Panthers get
Bryce Young. If they get Bryce Young, I think the Panthers are almost right there at the division.
I think they probably win it.
Yeah,
just with everything, because that team is perfect for a rookie QB.
Oh, 100%.
I'm not going to get on a side tangent, but they are. But
100%.
I agree. The South is open. The South
100%.
is.
I absolutely agree. Chiefs, they re-signed Justin Watson. It's not anything crazy. Buda Baker, he has requested a trade from the Cardinals. The Eagles are pretty much the only team that has consideration of him or interest, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They do have the cap space for his contract, just because it's not the biggest contract in the world, because it would have to be a trade, obviously.
Yeah, and would it be a 1-year rental? Because he's going to want more. Like, that's why he wants that. He wants more, so is it just
I think he has 2 years left on his contract.
Oh, he's 2 years left?
Yeah, he has 2 years left. So the Eagles would obviously trade, some may say their other first-round pick. I would probably just say their second and, like, their fourth.
I think they'd have to get both of them gone. For Buda, I think they'd have to give.
I say at least one. They're not going to get 2 first-round picks. 2 for a safety that's not. He's good, but.
Some say he's. Top 3. So I'm just saying, like, that's what his value is. One of the best.
I think you could say 1 first round, but 2, I think that's reaching it.
Yeah,
I think that's reaching it. Then obviously we're gonna get to the big one right here. Eagles, they extend Jalen Hurts' contract to a 5-year, $255 million extension, $179 million guaranteed. Now here's the cap numbers over the next 4 years. This coming up season, 6.15. 2024, 13.56, 2025, 21.77, and then 2026 is 31.77. All these obviously are million. This was probably one of the better quarterback contracts I have seen in a very long time, other than Mahomes.
Yeah, it's very team-friendly.
Yeah, it's very team-friendly because this allows them to actually build defense next offseason because your quarterback's not taking up a whole bunch of cap space.
Well, and it goes up each year, but each year the cap space goes up technically. Yep, so it's almost like it's not really a huge.
It's not a burden.
And 30 is that? Are these guaranteed numbers?
Those are these. So these are his. Yes, those are his
guaranteed, but they could be worth more. Correct.
Yes, it could be. But these are what his cap. I believe this is his cap hit.
Cap hit.
I believe this is his cap hit.
Okay.
For these seasons.
31.7 million is not bad.
That's good for a quarterback of his caliber. That's very, very
I
good.
like the contract.
Yeah.
Especially like as a Ravens fan, like because I'm like, well then,
because then you look at let's say Lamar plays on the franchise tag, then you look at next year, it's like, well, Jalen. Let's say Lamar balls out. Yeah. Well, Jalen Hurts, he balled out. He got this contract.
Well, that's what I mean. Lamar actually has been offered a better contract than this already. Like his guarantee, Jalen Hurts is like 179 or something like that, and I think Lamar's was almost 200. Was 200 was 200 guaranteed. They have said that he was offered 200 million guaranteed. So. Now it's almost like.
But then you have to think the yearly might be a little less then.
It might be a little, but still like.
Still, yeah.
To have 200 guarantee, like, so this honestly is really good for any of the teams that like the Chargers, the Bengals, because what this is getting away from is the awful, terrible, stupid contract that the Browns did, and getting back more to reality.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Because what the Browns did was kind of just make everyone forget how money works, and they gave $230 million to Deshaun Watson.
It's like $50 million guaranteed.
And how has it worked out for him? And like
terrible,
not worked out. So I think it was well done by the Eagles to get it done.
Yeah, I agree.
Get it done early. Hopefully he continues.
Yep.
I've told you I think he's definitely more reliant than other QBs
I agree. I think
on the outside piece, the receivers he's with, and running back.
Yeah, I agree.
But I do think it's a good sign.
His running backs are pretty slim.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think personally though, for this to be worth it, this man's got to throw over 30 touchdowns.
I think he's got to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, you think?
Got to win a Super Bowl.
Or at least get back.
Or at least get back to it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to do something because
yes, the cap hit is not bad, but you're still paying a guy $50.1 million a year.
Yeah, no,
So I mean, you're paying him 50, and you're.
Well, I was just saying, like, to at least get. I mean, because he's got 22. I mean, his highest passing touchdowns is 22.
But also, that's just the offense they run, though.
I know I know, but still, I mean, he still has AJ Brown and
that's true.
Devontae Smith. So to only have 22 passing and get 51. I know he's got the run game, but the reason I don't count the run game is because I've constantly been told you can't look at the run too. Like they always just try to look at passing. I feel
like Lamar, because I mean, and I know you're referencing Lamar.
Yeah.
On this one, obviously. And it's funny because Lamar's the only one that's been talked about that. Cam Newton, when he got all those rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Cam Newton and Lamar Jackson are probably in the same situation where they don't have any good receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Their best weapon is their tight end.
Yeah.
And their defense is good. Their defense is great, but then, like, you don't have anyone else. Your run game is your quarterback, practically. So, yeah, I don't know. I definitely, in my perspective, I think Hurts needs to at least make the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, he's definitely. I mean, like my thing is like if their first round exit, even if they don't make the NFC Championship
game,
there's a lot of problems there. Like there's going to be a lot of problems.
2023, 2024, that's the lowest cap hit for him. You're hoping that like you can after this next season. Okay, let's say they don't make the Super Bowl. You're hoping after that next season when some cap space opens up, you're hoping to get some more pieces for him. So then in 2024, when it's only 13.5, you can. I mean,
to me, like their Super Bowl windows, like this year, maybe next year,
it's very slim.
Maybe, like because I mean they lost a lot though.
They lose a lot,
They have the two
but they also have a lot of really young guys to make up for those pieces.
But the young guys never know.
It's just a matter of can they do it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like to me, they got to make a run. Like they've got to win it or something here soon.
100%. And then lastly, Allen Robinson. He was traded to the Steelers for a 7th round pick. The Steelers also get a 7th round pick in return. Just real quick. I mean, he was very disappointing last year.
That'd be an understatement. I mean,
yeah. I mean, to be fair though, he's a guy that needs another receiver to help. Kupp gets hurt. Doesn't really help the situation. Also, Stafford was...
the Rams just were so dysfunctional last year.
Yeah. We're going to go straight into the next segment.
Okay.
Obviously. This next segment is pretty much a higher or lower type thing, I guess.
Yeah.
So pretty much what the premise is Caden has picked a stat, and then he's picked 2 players for that stat, and then he's going to say either higher or lower, whatever. So for example, it could be batting average. 2 players are like Ronald Acuna and Nolan Arenado. Who has the higher or who has the lower or whatever? It's his choice.
I'm going to use better.
You use better.
Well, here's why. Stolen bases is higher, but ERA is going to be is lower. So like what I'm saying is who has the better stat.
Okay,
yeah, that's kind of what I'm like say.
Yeah, I got
just because because I was thinking like if I did higher like ERA, I can't say higher.
Yeah. Well, even if you said higher, I would understand what you meant.
Yeah.
But, but you can say better.
Let's get into it.
Let's go.
Okay. Ohtani.
Okay.
Or Cole for ERA.
This is this season, right?
Everything I did was this season.
Okay.
I just thought I'd make it this season.
It's Ohtani.
It is Ohtani.
So I saw it the other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's close.
It's like by like 0.03.
One's like 0.8, I think, and one's like 0.9. Like 0.8 something, 0.9 something. So
it's very close, yeah.
Okay. Stolen bases. Jazz Chisholm, right? Is that how you say it? Yeah. Or Tim Anderson.
Oh gosh. Okay. The only thing oh gosh. I'm gonna say Jazz, but it feels wrong. I'm gonna say Jazz.
It is Jazz.
Okay. How many?
It's one difference. I think it was like 6 and 5 or something like. I don't have all the stats here, so please don't.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Yeah.
Don't ask me too many more because I'll be like, I don't know. All right, errors.
Ooh. Oh gosh.
I tried to go through like every single category.
I like it though. I like it.
Dansby Swanson.
Ooh.
Or Javier Baez.
Javi Baez.
Incorrect.
What?
No Dansby Swanson has more errors.
Do you know the difference or not?
I can look this one up for you because it is very like.
What? Okay, and the only reason why, obviously, I said Javi is because Javier Baez is a terrible baseball player right now.
Oh, he's been awful. I have a buddy that's a Tigers fan, and yeah, he's complained.
terrible.
I mean, he's lost them plenty of games. Where is it at? Dansby Swanson has. Oh, I clicked the wrong one.
Oh my goodness! Come on.
Sorry, I know. I'm trying.
What are we doing?
Okay, Dansby Swanson has 3, and Javier Baez has 2. So it's not much.
It's not much,
But it's
wow.
still-
But
it's-
still, Dansby has 3 already.
Mm-hmm.
That's concerning. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, next one. Batting average. Man, we're going through these really quick. I might have to pace myself. Actually, we have a lot to pick. Never mind. Okay, we're good. So batting average.
Mm-hmm.
William or Wilson Contreras?
Oh gosh. I know Wilson really struggled. I know he's doing better recently. William, though, I can't remember if William's doing good or not.
Not necessarily an offensive guy.
Yeah, I mean, really neither of them are.
Yeah,
honestly. I'm gonna go with William.
it is William.
Oh yes, I know that because Wilson was batting 120 like a week.
Oh, yeah,
ago.
he was
terrible.
He's starting to pick it up, but
Yeah.
he was awful. Yeah. Trust me, I know. All right, home runs.
Okay.
Here we go. Jason Hayward or Juan Soto?
I feel like it might be a trick question, but I'm still gonna go with Juan Soto.
It is, but it's by 1.
Yeah, I figured.
It
yeah.
is very close. I was hoping I'd get you to mix that one
Yeah.
up there. Okay. I didn't put an answer down for the next 2, so I got to find that.
It's all right.
But so it's strikeouts.
Okay.
I should have said that. I put Case and got really confused. Austin Riley
Okay.
or Riley Green?
So this is strikeouts.
This is strikeouts.
I'm going with Austin Riley
Okay, hold on. I got to find it because, like I
because
said.
I think Austin Riley has 25, I think, or 20 something.
So you're saying Austin Riley?
I'm saying Austin Riley.
has more strikeouts?
Yeah.
Incorrect. It is Riley Green. And the only reason I picked this one
Because Riley.
is Riley Green is the country music singer is dropping 2 songs tomorrow, so pretty excited about that.
Oh, wow.
Riley Green, yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah. I just had to, plug that because I'm really excited for that. All right. Next. L's.
Okay. Also,
Oh,
because
sorry.
okay, so the Riley Green, the Tigers player, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I used him though because of the country singer too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is losses. Pitchers.
Okay, losses. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
Sandy Alcantara
Okay.
or Clayton Kershaw?
Oh, I know Alcantara. He had a really bad game like a week ago.
Is one bad game enough? That's the
I
question.
don't know. I mean, the Marlins are 10-9. The Dodgers are 8-10, 8-11. Oh gosh. I'm gonna say. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go with Alcantara just because Kershaw got his 200th win.
You are correct. You are correct.
Yes.
It's like 2-1.
Yeah.
A lot of the stats are so close,
Yeah.
but I wanted to try to get as close as possible, but
yeah.
big names.
Yeah.
Okay, batting average.
Okay.
Vlad.
Okay.
Not saying his last name because you know why. I
Guerrero.
can't see. Yeah,
Guerrero.
I struggle with it so much. Or Bo Bichette.
Oh gosh. I haven't heard much from Vlad this year. I know Bo Bichette has been doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I know he had a game. I know he had a game to where he got almost hit in the face, and then next at bat he had a 450-foot bomb.
Wow, I did not know that
So
one.
I'm gonna say Bo Bichette.
You would be correct. Bo Bichette does have the better one.
Oh, I thought you were about to say you would be, but it's wrong.
Oh, no, you're good. All right. I got one more here, but I can find more. It doesn't
Okay.
take long to find more if I need to. This is ERA again.
Okay.
So, Max Scherzer
ERA
or DeGrom?
ERA.
ERA. Who
Well,
has the better?
Who's the better ERA? Oh my gosh! I know DeGrom had a good game the other day. Scherzer got ejected yesterday, so I don't think Scherzer's really gotten lit up. I know DeGrom got lit up in opening day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, I just don't. I can't remember if Scherzer has played bad. He hasn't played really good. I'm gonna go with Scherzer. I feel like it's wrong though.
It is DeGrom.
Do you know the difference or no?
I will look this up for you
Okay.
because I might as well while I'm here.
Because I remember DeGrom got lit up by the Phillies in opening day, and then he had like a third. I think he had like a pretty good strike.
Scherzer's 372
Oh,
and DeGrom's 348.
okay.
So I
it's
mean,
not,
point,
it's not, yeah,
point 3.
not bad. Okay.
I just looked the worst.
They are not very good.
Yeah.
but
Here's a little trivia.
Okay.
Okay.
Little trivia. I got you.
Name the teams.
Oh, God.
Okay. There's just so for the
Teams.
pitchers who have the two highest ERAs. So the worst ERAs.
So it's the two teams that have the worst ERA.
No, not as a team, but their players have the
Oh.
worst one. Singular.
So wait, do I have to name the player or the teams?
Just the team.
The-
I'll make it easy.
The singular team or teams?
What team has the worst? Okay, I'll rephrase that. Sorry, that's really vague. What? Okay, so the last two pitchers.
Okay.
Okay, so the worst ERAs
Okay.
are two different teams.
Okay.
What are those teams?
Oh, so I have to name the teams that have the two worst pitchers.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm going to say, oh my gosh, okay, there's got to be a pitcher that has like a double-digit ERA.
Okay, so
I
what I'm
feel
gonna say is this is starting. Oh, I think it's all starting pitchers
I would hope so.
from what I'm looking at.
If it's a closer or reliever, that's a little concerning.
And yeah, so I mean, I don't know.
I'm gonna say, oh gosh, I'm gonna say the Braves.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna say, is it the A's?
Surprisingly, no.
Okay. Can I get like a hint or something on one of them?
I can give you a hint.
Can't.
I can.
Oh, you can. Okay.
I guess one team is red and one team is blue.
Oh wow, Reds.
No.
Oh my. It's
Same
Cardinals.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. that's
Cardinals.
sick.
Can you name who?
It's
Michaelis. Yeah, Michaelis. Yeah.
Oh, I should
obviously.
Have known that one.
Yeah. I thought you would.
Yeah.
Blue.
Blue.
Think of bad teams.
It's not Tigers, is it?
Nope. Same state.
Same. Oh, Royals.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Brady
What's-
Singer is bad.
Earl
Has an
Singer.
ERA of 8.14, and
my
Michaelis has
gosh.
8.10.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then Detroit. But yeah, no.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, oh gosh, I'm
I
seeing
know-
a lot of St.
what are-
Louis
what are
players,
the-
and it's
you-
making me
Who's the
sad.
next Braves guy?
The Braves, okay.
I know.
Hold on a
it's gotta be
second, let me-
Dodd or Schuster if they're eligible.
Jordan I've seen three
Cardinals?
St. Louis people outside this top 50. And, those might not have the lowest ERAs in total,
Yeah.
but they've got 4 games played, so maybe that, there's probably on
Yeah.
ESPN. I'm just using
That's
ESPN
true,
stats. Okay, ATL. Dude, I'm not sick. Charlie Morton? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
322?
Really?
That's from what this is saying. So I'm
Holy
sure
crap.
this has a, what's it called?
Yes, because there were
It's got a
yeah.
limit to amount that you can
Yeah.
play.
Well, yeah, because there was 2 guys from the minors we had to call up. It was Jared Schuster and Dylan Dodd, and they both had a 5+ ERA.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, because Fried has a 1.08, and then Strider has a 2.7 or something like that.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Well, all right. I'll give you another trivia question. I went away from the
Fun.
this or that just real
Fun.
quick.
Yeah.
What team has the most home runs?
This season.
Yes.
It's not the Braves. It's oh my gosh.
Braves are 4 or tied for 4th.
4th.
So they're 5th, I guess.
Is it the? I'm gonna say the Blue Jays.
Incorrect. It's gonna be the Tampa Bay Rays.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I don't know. I never think of them as a home run hitting team. So
that makes sense.
yeah, I don't know.
Wow. Sorry, I'm looking at some of these
You're good.
stats. Quality starts. Let's see.
Oh gosh, quality.
Who is
start.
last in quality starts?
So it's got to be a team that gets absolutely raked on, and then they just take out their starting pitcher. Cardinals.
Yeah. They're tied with Detroit and the Red Sox.
Oh my goodness.
But
That is sad. Your pitchers can't even get a quality start.
no, we can't.
That's sad, man.
It is
It's a little rough.
It is brutal here.
All right, we can do one more.
Do one more?
Do one more now?
Okay, let's see here. Let's see what we got. Let me find something really tough. What kind of... Oh. What team leads the MLB in strikeouts?
Strikeouts.
Yeah.
That is the... Oh my gosh, I feel like I should know this. It's not the Braves.
Okay.
think.
Oh, this is pitching strikeouts. I should...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
Okay.
figured. Yeah.
Okay. And I will just say the Cardinals are 11th somehow.
That's like middle of the pack.
Well, yeah, but we're last in quality starts, so it's like...
It's not Braves. I know, but Strider.
Braves are 7th.
Interesting fact: Strider, his jersey number is 99, and every single one of his starts, he's had 9 strikeouts.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Reds.
No, they are... I don't even know.
Bottom. I don't know.
No, 19th, so kind of.
Nah.
All right, you're very disappointed in this team.
Is it the White Sox?
It is the White
Really?
Sox.
Interesting.
190.
7-12, and they're first in strikeouts.
But their ERA is 5.44 as a team.
That makes sense.
I mean, we're even better. I mean, Cardinals are at 4.66, so I mean,
that makes sense.
we're even better than the White Sox, I guess. But yeah, I think. Do you want another one, or are we good?
I think we're good. Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're good. Yeah. So, I mean, you want to go straight to picks?
I'm ready.
All
I'm
right,
ready
let's
to
go
go.
straight to picks. First picks, we're gonna do MLB. Obviously, this will be picking the series, not just one single game. Obviously. So first one, Dodgers versus Cubs. Who you got?
Dodgers.
I got Cubs.
You'll never see me pick the Cubs. Like, I don't care if they're like 100.
Well, this next one's interesting. Reds versus Pirates.
All of America loses watching them. No, I'm just kidding. I'll go the Pirates. I'll pick the Pirates.
I'm gonna go with the Reds.
Okay.
White Sox versus Rays.
Rays.
I'm going with the Rays as well. Rockies versus Phillies.
Phillies.
I'm going with the Phillies as well. Tigers versus Orioles.
I'm going Orioles.
Okay, I felt you kind of think about it for a second.
Oh no, I was gonna like do like a. Never mind. I was thinking way too much. Never mind. Just don't worry about it.
I'm gonna go with the Orioles as well. Blue Jays versus Yankees. This is a good matchup.
I'm gonna pick Blue Jays because I think they're gonna get it started.
To win the division.
Yeah, so I gotta stick with it. I gotta
goodness.
stick with it. I'm gonna be stubborn.
It's in Yankee Stadium. I'm pretty sure. I'm going with the friggin' Yankees.
The fake 100-year-old Yankee Stadium.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I saw that. Yeah. The one that's only been around for 83 years or 82 years, something like that. Marlins versus Guardians.
I picked Guardians, but I could see the Marlins winning. But I'm gonna go Guardians.
I picked the Guardians because I'm pretty sure Bieber and McKenzie are supposed to be pitching.
Oh, that's who's going.
Or at least one of them is.
Then yeah.
So I'm going with Guardians. Athletics versus Rangers.
I think no, I'm just kidding. The Rangers.
Yeah, the Rangers.
Sweet.
And I think if DeGrom pitches in one of these games, do we think
no hitter
over under 10.5 strikeouts?
Under, and here's why. Perfect game.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
I don't know. I mean, you might as well. What do I have to lose?
That's true. Red Sox versus Brewers.
Brewers.
Brewers. This is a good one. Astros versus Braves, and this is in Atlanta. Rematch.
I picked Astros.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
With Braves. I'm just letting you know. On top of our rotations pitching this series. Just,
then can I switch?
Nope. You cannot.
Okay.
You cannot switch it, sir. Nationals versus Twins.
Twins.
We'll go Twins as well. Royals versus Angels.
Angels?
Yep. Padres versus...
Well, what's going on over there?
Padres versus Diamondbacks.
I put Padres. I'm going to go Diamondbacks.
I'm going with the Diamondbacks. the Diamondbacks over the Padres.
Okay.
I'm going. Sorry.
I got
Cardinals-
the next one. Cardinals versus Mariners.
I'm going with the Cardinals, obviously.
I'm going Mariners. Mariners just debuted that cool new trident thing, so I'm going to go with that.
With the what?
A home run trident.
They have a home run trident?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, so I'm going to pick them. And I don't trust the Cardinals at all, so.
Okay, sorry. Last one, Mets versus Giants, both interesting teams.
Mets. I'm going to go Mets.
Yeah, I believe it's in San Francisco as well. I'm going with the Mets, yeah. Now we go to the NBA. For this, we're going to pick the remainder of the first round, just because, I don't know. But, I mean, it'd be better that way, in my opinion. So, first one, 76ers versus Nets.
76ers.
Celtics versus Hawks.
Celtics.
Celtics.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Bucks versus Heat.
I'm going to go Bucks.
You go Bucks?
I'm going to go Bucks.
Interesting. I'm going Bucks as well.
Oh, okay.
Cavs versus Knicks.
Cavs.
I'm going Cavs as well. I almost had Knicks. I'm not gonna lie, I changed Knicks like last second, like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Kings versus Warriors.
Kings.
I'm going Kings. Suns versus Clippers.
I'm going to go Suns.
Go
Especially
Suns.
with Kawhi being out. I really lost all hope.
Yeah,
if
I
Kawhi
agree.
played tonight, I'd probably have said Clippers, but
Yeah, I 100% agree. Nuggets versus Timberwolves.
Nuggets.
And then lastly, Grizzlies versus the Lakers. Who do you got?
Obviously the Lakers, it's going another one. We're going all the way. I'm telling you. LeBron's going to be finals MVP.
Oh,
it's all that.
Okay now. Okay.
No, but in all serious, Lakers.
Okay, I kind of want the Lakers to win now just because so the Kings can beat them.
Oh,
in my opinion.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I'm going to go with the Grizzlies.
Oh.
I'm going to go with the Grizzlies.
Nothing good comes out of Memphis.
What? Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
Derrick Rose. All right.
Oh, well, I misspoke.
What?
Our boss is from Memphis.
Sorry, Kyle.
Sorry, Kyle. Kyle, you're great.
If you're listening,
if you're listening,
we are sorry.
And the Memphis
Cadence.
Bass Pro. So there are a couple
what?
things. The Memphis Bass Pro. It's like a big pyramid.
Oh, that's
it's like
the big
the
pyramid
fifth
one?
largest pyramid in the world. It's a
Really?
Bass Pro. Yeah,
Well,
it's
there's
in
not
Memphis.
There's not a lot of pyramids outside of Egypt, sir.
Mexico.
What? Oh yeah, yeah. Whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much to listening to Real Talk Sports. Next week we will not be having the show, just because I will be out of town. I will be going to a Taylor Swift concert.
Wow.
Okay. I did not make.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
I understand. He's a
Yeah.
Swiftie
I
at
am a-
heart,
I am a-
so
I am a-
he's
I am a-
got to go.
I am a Swiftie, okay?
I understand.
I'm leaving Thursday, afternoon, and then the concert's Friday in Atlanta. That'll be my
Oh.
first time as a Falcons fan at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Wow, that's kind of sad, but hey, at least you got there, right?
and that is 100%. Yeah, 100%. Caden, anything to close us out?
I don't think so. I think it's
No?
going to be a good into the first round of the NBA playoffs. So just make sure you watch, at least watch the next couple of Kings Warriors games.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to leave everyone with.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to Real Talk Sports. My name's Ethan Richmond, alongside my co-host Caden Glaze. We wish you an amazing rest of your day and an amazing weekend. Good night.